Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor to present to you the President of the United States.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good to be back.
នៅថ្ងៃពុធទី28ខែមេសានេះលោក Joe Biden ប្រធានាធិបតីសហរដ្ឋអាមេរិកនឹងត្រូវចូលទៅថ្លែងសុន្ទរកថាជាលើកទី1នៅចំពោះមុខសភា Congress នៅក្នុងឱកាស100ថ្ងៃនៃការកាន់អំណាចរបស់រដ្ឋាភិបាលលោកនេះគឺជាឱកាសដែលលោកនឹងត្រូវបង្ហាញអំពីឆន្ទៈនយោបាយរបស់ខ្លួនក្នុងការធ្វើកំណែទម្រង់ធំៗទាំងក្នុងវិស័យពន្ធដារសេដ្ឋកិច្ចនិងវិស័យសង្គមគិច្ចមកពិសេសជូនសេចក្តីរាយការណ៍
ខុសពីអាណត្តិមុនដែលសន្ទរកថារបស់ប្រធានាធិបតីថ្មីនៅវិមានកាពីតូលមានមនុស្សចូលរួមស្ដាប់ដល់ទៅ 1,600 នាក់នៅលើកនេះគឺមានមនុស្សតែប្រមាណ200នាក់ប៉ុណ្ណោះដោយសារតែបញ្ហា COVID-19 ក្នុងចំណោមសមាជិករដ្ឋាភិបាលគឺមានតែលោកស្រីអនុប្រធានាធិបតី Kamala Harris លោករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីការបរទេសនិងរដ្ឋមន្ត្រីការពារជាតិប៉ុណ្ណោះដែលអមដំណើរមកជាមួយលោកប្រធានាធិបតី Joe Biden ខ្លឹមសារនៃសន្ទរកថារបស់លោក Joe Biden នៅចំពោះមុខអង្គសភា Congress នឹងត្រូវផ្សាយបន្តផ្ទាល់តាមទូរទស្សន៍ចាប់ពីម៉ោង 9 យប់នេះទៅលោក Joe Biden នឹងថ្លែងបង្ហាញអំពីឆន្ទៈទស្សនៈនយោបាយដឹកនាំប្រទេសសម្រាប់អាណត្តិ4ឆ្នាំរបស់លោកតាមការរំពឹងទុកលោកនឹងថ្លែងអំពីគម្រោងជួយគ្រួសារអាមេរិកតាមរយៈការវិនិយោគដ៏ច្រើនសម្បើមនៅក្នុងវិស័យអប់រំរដ្ឋាភិបាលលោក Joe Biden នឹងដំឡើងពន្ធយកពីប្រជាជនអាមេរិកដែលមានជីវភាពស្ដុកស្ដំយកមកចំណាយចាយវាយក្នុងកិច្ចការសង្គមតាមការលើកឡើងរបស់បណ្ដាញព័ត៌មានអាមេរិកអត្រាពន្ធលើប្រាក់ចំណូលសម្រាប់អ្នកមានជីវភាពធូរធារបំផុតប្រមាណ 0.3% នៅអាមេរិកគឺនឹងឡើងពី 20% ទៅ 39.6% ពូលគឺសឹងតែទ្វេជា2លោក Joe Biden នឹងថ្លែងផងដែរដើម្បីការពារផែនការផ្ដល់សន្ទុះសេដ្ឋកិច្ចដែលមានទឹកប្រាក់ប្រមាណ $1,900 លានហើយដែលសភា Congress របស់អាមេរិកត្រូវចាប់ផ្ដើមប្រជុំជជែកគ្នាមុននឹងអនុម័តយល់ព្រមបន្ថែមពីនេះលោក Joe Biden ប្រកាសជានឹងលើកឡើងអំពីលទ្ធផលយ៉ាងគប្បប្រសើរនៅក្នុងយុទ្ធនាការប្រយុទ្ធប្រឆាំងការឆ្លងរាលដាលជំងឺ COVID-19 ក្នុងរយៈពេល3ខែដើមអាណត្តិរបស់លោកប្រជាជនអាមេរិកប្រមាណ96លាននាក់ពលគឺ 30% នៃប្រជាជនសរុបគឺបានទទួលការចាក់វ៉ាក់សាំងការពារ COVID-19 បានគ្រប់អស់ហើយដោយឡែកលោកស្រី Jen Psaki អ្នកនាំពាក្យសេតវិមានបានបញ្ជាក់ថាលោក Joe Biden នឹងថ្លែងលើកឡើងផងដែរអំពីការបដិញ្ញារបស់លោកនៅក្នុងការនាំសហរដ្ឋអាមេរិកឲ្យដើរតួនាទីសំខាន់នៅក្នុងកិច្ចការនយោបាយអន្តរជាតិតាមរយៈការពង្រឹងចំណងសហការជាមួយប្រទេសសម្ព័ន្ធមិត្តទំនាក់ទំនងរវាងចិននិងសហរដ្ឋអាមេរិកក៏នឹងត្រូវលោក Joe Biden លើកមកនិយាយនៅក្នុងឱកាសនេះដែរគូគាត់សម្គាល់ថា100ថ្ងៃនៃការផ្ដើមអាណត្តិថ្មីដឹកនាំដោយលោក Joe Biden គឺបានប្រព្រឹត្តទៅដោយរលូនគ្មានរឿងអាស្រូវធំដុំដោយកាលពីសម័យលោក Donald Trump ទី
COVID-19 vaccine shots into people's arms in 100 days we will have provided over 220 million COVID shots in those 100 days thanks to all the help of all of you we're marshalling with your help, everyone's help, we're marshalling every federal resource. We've gotten vaccines to nearly 40,000 pharmacies and over 700 community health centers where the poorest of the poor can be reached. We're setting up community vaccination sites, developing mobile units to get to hard-to-reach communities. Today, 90% of Americans now live within 5 miles of a vaccination site. Everyone over the age of 16, everyone is now eligible to get vaccinated right now, right away. Go get vaccinated, America. Go and get the vaccination. They're available. You're eligible now. When I was sworn in on January 20th, less than 1% of the seniors in America were fully vaccinated against COVID-19. 100 days later, 70% of seniors in America over 65 are protected, fully protected. Senior deaths from COVID-19 are down 80% since January, down 80% because of all of you. And more than half of all the adults in America have gotten at least one shot. A mass vaccination center in Glendale, Arizona, I asked the nurse, I said, "What's it like?" She looked at me and she said, "It's like every shot is giving a dose of hope," was her phrase, a dose of hope. A dose of hope for an educator in Florida who has a child suffering from an autoimmune disease. Wrote to me, said she was worried about bringing the virus home. She said she then got vaccinated at a large site in her car. She said she sat in her car when she got vaccinated and just cried out of joy and cried out of relief. Parents, seeing the smiles on their kids' faces for those who are able to go back to school because the teachers and school bus drivers and cafeteria workers have been vaccinated. Grandparents, hugging their children and grandchildren instead of pressing hands against the window to say goodbye. It means everything. Those things mean everything. You know, there's still, you all know it, you know it better than any group of Americans, there's still more work to do to beat this virus. We can't let our guard down. But tonight, I can say, because of you, the American people, our progress these past 100 days against one of the worst pandemics in history has been one of the greatest logistical achievements this country's ever seen. What else have we done in those first 100 days? We kept our commitment, Democrats and Republicans, of sending $1,400 rescue checks to 85% of American households. We've already sent more than 160 million checks out the door. It's making a difference. You all know it when you go home. For many people, it's making all the difference in the world. The single mom in Texas who wrote me, she said she couldn't work, but she said the relief check put food on the table and saved her and her son from eviction from their apartment. A grandmother in Virginia who told me she immediately took her granddaughter to the eye doctor, something she said she put off for months because she didn't have the money. One of the defining images, at least from my perspective in this crisis, has been cars lined up for miles. And not people just barely able to start those cars, nice cars, lined up for miles, waiting for a box of food to be put in their trunk. I don't know about you, but I didn't ever think I'd see that in America. And all of this is through no fault of their own. No fault of their own, these people are in this position. That's why the rescue plan is delivering food and nutrition assistance to millions of Americans facing hunger. And hunger is down sharply already. We're also providing rental assistance. You all know this, but the American people, I want to make sure they understand. Keeping people from being evicted from their homes. Providing loans to small businesses that reopen and keep their employees on the job. During these 100 days, an additional 800,000 Americans enrolled in the Affordable Care Act when I established a special sign-up period to do that. 800,000 in that period. We're making one of the largest one-time investments ever in improving health care for veterans. Critical investments to address the opioid crisis. And maybe most importantly, thanks to the American Rescue Plan, we're on track to cut child poverty in America in half this year.